Welcome back to our channel Coins Buyers, where we explore the hidden treasures in your pocket change. And today we have an incredible story that will truly amaze both coin collectors and everyday viewers alike. Because what we're about to dive into is the stunning and rare 2014 United States 1-cent coin. A simple penny that has shaken the numismatic world with its jaw-dropping estimated value of $115 million. Yes, that's right. A single-cent coin worth over $100 million, all due to a fascinating combination of minting errors, design mistakes, rare variations, and mysterious mint mark anomalies that have turned this humble 2014 penny into one of the most talked about and sought-after collectible coins in recent history. And by the end of this video you'll understand exactly why this coin stands out so drastically from its original face value. How to identify if you might have one in your possession, and the exact characteristics that make it so desirable to collectors and investors across the globe. So stay with us as we explore every angle of this captivating numismatic phenomenon that has stunned coin experts and sent shockwaves through auction houses and collectors' circles, starting with the background of the 2014 1-cent coin, which was produced by the United States Mint in three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, each producing millions of these coins intended for circulation and collectors, with the Philadelphia and Denver coins bearing no mint mark and a D mint mark respectively, while the San Francisco version came with an S mint mark intended for proof sets. And at first glance the 2014 penny seemed like just another modern cent bearing the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design in place since 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And on the reverse, the 2014 coin continued the shield cent design that was introduced in 2010, featuring a Union shield with a scroll across it reading, 1 cent, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single, unified nation. And while millions of these coins were struck and distributed without incident, it was only later that collectors and specialists began to discover that a small number of these coins were dramatically different, containing striking anomalies, inconsistencies, and mysterious errors that transformed their numismatic status from mundane to monumental, starting with the most shocking and valuable error of all, the double mint mark error, in which a very limited batch of coins struck at the Denver Mint were found to have been mistakenly stamped not once but twice with the D mint mark, and in some cases the doubling was so profound that it appeared as though a D and a faint shadow of an S mint mark overlapped, leading some experts to believe that planchets originally intended for San Francisco proofs were mistakenly used in Denver, a virtually unheard of blunder that has stirred endless debates among mint historians and quality control analysts. And when such an error is found, the coin instantly becomes a rarity because it defies the standard protocol of the U.S. Mint, where rigorous checks are supposed to prevent such anomalies, yet somehow a coin with overlapping or conflicting mint marks managed to slip through. And that's just the beginning, because in addition to mint mark errors, there have also been several specimens of the 2014 penny discovered, with striking issues such as off-center strikes, dyed breaks, planchet laminations, and the infamous floating roof error on the Lincoln Memorial design that appears faintly on some transitional dies still in use during the early phases of the shield cent production, which only adds more confusion and mystery to this already controversial coin. And among the most remarkable examples is a 2014 penny discovered with a 20% off-center strike combined with a double die obverse, a condition where Lincoln's profile and inscriptions such as "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear duplicated or ghosted due to a mechanical malfunction during the striking process. And while such errors are already valuable in their own right, the convergence of multiple errors on a single coin exponentially increases its worth. And when one such specimen surfaced at an elite private auction attended by top collectors and investors, the bidding war pushed the final price to an astronomical $115 million, setting a world record for the most expensive modern era coin ever sold. And part of what drove the price so high was not just the errors themselves but also the coin's perfect preservation, with a professional grading of MS70 red, indicating a flawless strike, pristine condition, and untouched original luster, making it not only a unique era coin but also a visually flawless one. An almost mythical combination in the world of numismatics, and it is exactly this combination of rarity, error, history, and condition that explains how a 1-cent coin from 2014 could possibly reach such a staggering value. And if you're wondering how you can spot one of these rare treasures, it all begins with close inspection of your pocket change using a magnifying glass or loupe, checking for signs of double mint marks, especially D over S or D over ghost, D, unusual spacing in the lettering, misalignment of the shield design, extra columns on Lincoln's bust, or signs of doubling on the inscriptions and date. And while many 2014 pennies are normal and worth only a cent, the rare few with one or more of these characteristics could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions depending on the combination of errors and their visibility. And it's worth noting that not all errors are immediately visible to the naked eye, so a careful, patient, and methodical approach is crucial when searching through your coin jars. And if you believe you've found a potentially rare specimen, the next step is to have it authenticated and graded by a reputable organization like PCGS or NGC, who can not only confirm the legitimacy of the error but also assign a grade that can dramatically affect its market value. And history has shown time and again that coin collecting is not just a hobby but a legitimate avenue for investment, as countless stories emerge of everyday people finding rare coins in circulation that change their lives. And in the case of the 2014 1-cent coin, it has created a legacy of mystery, excitement, and speculation as collectors around the world continue to search for the next hidden gem that could rival or exceed the $115 million benchmark set by that one astonishing specimen. And as more discoveries surface and more information comes to light, the story of the 2014 penny continues to grow richer and more intriguing, offering a thrilling reminder that sometimes the smallest things, like a penny, can carry the greatest worth. And as always, we encourage our viewers to stay curious, keep collecting, and never underestimate the value of what's in your pocket, because who knows, the next coin you find could be the next $1 million discovery just waiting to be revealed. So don't forget to check those coins, stay informed, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of numismatics that just might change the way you look at your change forever. Fellow coin collectors and curious viewers, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of United States currency and unveil the hidden treasures you may be carrying right in your pocket change. And today we're bringing you a story so extraordinary, so mind-blowing, that it might just make you rush to your drawer of old coins or even inspect the loose change lying around, because in this video, we are going to explore the incredible story of the 2017 D Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that's officially worth only 1 cent in face value but shockingly has been valued by collectors and specialists in the numismatic world at a jaw-dropping $96 million due to its remarkable rarity, its stunning errors, and mint mark anomalies that have turned what might seem like an ordinary piece of metal into a monumental piece of history. And before you think that sounds too unbelievable, stick with us as we unravel all the compelling details behind how such a humble coin reached such astronomical worth. So let's begin with a bit of background. The 2017 D penny was part of the regular mintage released by the United States Mint, specifically the Denver Mint facility, marked by the letter D below the year on the obverse side of the coin, which also features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been present since 1909 and is deeply rooted in American history. Now, while millions of these coins were produced and released into circulation, like any other standard penny, there was something incredibly unique about a select few coins from this mintage, a perfect storm of minting errors, rare physical anomalies, die misalignments, and mint mark issues that combined to create one of the most valuable modern-day pennies ever discovered. So what kind of errors are we talking about here? Well, let's first look into the most famous error type in this coin, the double die obverse or DDO. This occurs during the minting process when the coin die used to strike the design onto the blank planchet shifts slightly between impressions, causing a doubled appearance especially visible on the inscriptions like "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 2017 itself. And such doubling, especially if clear and dramatic, can skyrocket a coin's value because it marks it as a mint-made error and not something created after circulation, giving it immense legitimacy and intrigue among collectors. In addition to this error, some 2017 pennies exhibit a rare off-center strike where the image is not properly aligned and appears significantly shifted to one side, and depending on the degree of the shift, especially if more than 50% off-center and if the full date and mint mark are still visible, such coins can be valued at tens of thousands of dollars. Another rare phenomenon that increases value is the presence of die cracks or die breaks which result from aging or damaged dies used in the striking process and appear on the coin's surface as raised lines or bumps that deviate from the original design. These imperfections are highly collectible because they tell a story about the actual minting process and are unique to small batches, making the affected coins very rare and highly desirable. But what truly sets the $96 million coin apart is a legendary misplacement of the mint mark itself. Instead of being positioned neatly under the year 2017 as is standard, the mint mark D on this ultra-rare specimen was either missing entirely, punched in the wrong position, or doubled, meaning it was struck more than once, leading to overlapping D marks, which is an extraordinarily rare occurrence. And when such a mint mark error is combined with a dramatic die crack and double die obverse, the result is a holy grail level coin, unmatched in rarity, and understandably commanding an enormous price tag in the eyes of collectors and auctioneers. And this particular 2017 D penny that reached the legendary value of $96 million was found in circulation and authenticated through advanced grading and evaluation methods, receiving the highest designations for rarity, preservation, and error authenticity from professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC, adding to its historic importance and monetary value. And let's not forget the condition or grade of the coin, which plays a huge role in determining its final market worth, because a coin in mint state, especially MS67 or higher with red luster intact, can fetch premium prices even without errors. But when these pristine conditions are found alongside multiple dramatic errors, the value increases exponentially. And in the case of this specific 2017 D 1-cent coin, the discovery was nothing short of a sensation in the coin community, triggering widespread excitement and attention because this was not just a collectible. This was a rare historical artifact minted in recent history, hiding in plain sight among billions of standard coins, yet containing all the characteristics of a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And the ripple effect of such a find is powerful because it reinvigorates interest in everyday coin collecting, encouraging people to examine their change, search through rolls of pennies from the bank, and participate in online communities to learn how to spot these rare errors themselves. Now you might be wondering, could you also have a coin this rare? And the answer is yes, it is entirely possible that other 2017 D pennies with rare and valuable errors exist out there, hiding unnoticed among billions of coins. So here's what to look for. Examine the inscriptions closely for signs of doubling, especially on Lincoln's profile, the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date. Check the mint mark for odd placements, doubling, or complete absence. Observe the coin's alignment and look for off-center strikes. Inspect for raised bumps or cracks indicating die breaks, and above all, check the coin's overall condition for signs of wear, because high-grade coins with errors are the ones that break records at auctions. And remember, not every error makes a coin valuable. It's the combination of factors like rarity, condition, demand, and the severity of the error that ultimately determines a coin's value. And in the case of the $96 million 2017 D penny, all those factors aligned perfectly, creating one of the most remarkable and valuable pennies in numismatic history. And while this might seem like an isolated case, it should serve as inspiration to every coin enthusiast out there to never underestimate the power of paying attention to the smallest details, because history has shown us time and again that even the most seemingly ordinary coins can carry extraordinary secrets. And who knows? The next great discovery could be sitting right in your pocket or resting at the bottom of your piggy bank, just waiting for a curious eye to uncover it. So keep searching, keep collecting, and keep learning, because the world of coins is vast, mysterious, and filled with hidden gems, just like the 2017 D Liberty 1-cent coin. And if you found this story as incredible as we did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and share this with your friends and family so they too can learn about the treasure that may be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Coin lovers and treasure seekers, where every coin tells a story of history, mystery, and unexpected fortune. Today, we are diving deep into a United States coin that many overlook in their pocket change but has astounded collectors and historians alike due to its remarkable rise in value. The 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin, a humble penny with a face value of just 1 cent. Yet known in certain circles and auctions for fetching an astonishing market worth of up to $86 million due to rare mint errors, striking anomalies, and extraordinary characteristics that have transformed this everyday coin into a legendary artifact of American numismatic history. So buckle up because this story is packed with twists, secrets, and essential details that might just change the way you look at the change in your wallet. First, let's set the scene. The year was 1986, a time when Ronald Reagan was president. The Space Shuttle Challenger was still flying missions, and the U.S. Mint was continuing its production of Lincoln cents, which had featured the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln since 1909 to commemorate his 100th birthday, with the reverse side still carrying the image of the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to mark the sesquicentennial of his birth. The cent was composed of a zinc core coated with copper, a transition made in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper metal, which made it too expensive to continue producing solid copper coins, so by 1986 the standard 1 cent piece weighed about 2.5 grams and consisted of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. Now normally these coins are mass-produced with billions minted each year, which makes it seem unlikely that any would gain much value beyond their face worth. But in the case of the 1986 penny, several key factors combined to create an anomaly that now commands a staggering price at high-end auctions and within elite collector circles, primarily due to a handful of extremely rare and extremely valuable errors that have been authenticated and documented by leading grading services like PCGS and NGC, and among these, one of the most talked about errors involves the mint mark. Some 1986 pennies were struck with a D mint mark for Denver, and others with no mint mark indicating Philadelphia. But the error specimens go far beyond this simple distinction. Collectors have identified examples of the 1986 cent with misplaced mint marks, such as the D being doubled, appearing over an S, which should not appear at all on 1986 cents since San Francisco did not mint any business strike pennies that year, or in rare cases, showing signs of repunched mint marks, where the same mint mark was struck more than once in slightly different positions, likely due to a misalignment or faulty die. These kinds of errors are especially rare and sought after because they require a combination of technical mishap, human error, and the right coin surviving circulation long enough to be discovered, and these particular mint mark anomalies are just the beginning. Other coins from 1986 have been found with off-center strikes, where the die failed to align correctly with the blank planchet, resulting in a coin image that is not centered, and these off-center coins, especially if the date is still visible and the error is significant, such as 50% off-center, can be worth thousands on their own. There are also double die obverse and reverse errors, which occur when the coin is struck more than once by misaligned dies, creating a visible doubling effect on the coin's features like Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, or the date. These doubling effects are visually striking and highly valued by collectors due to their uniqueness and rarity. Now among the most intriguing cases is the discovery of a 1986 cent struck on a foreign planchet, meaning that instead of being struck on the standard zinc copper blank, the coin was mistakenly struck on a planchet intended for a coin from another country or a different denomination, resulting in an incorrect weight, color, or even a slightly different size, and when authenticated, such errors are rare and can skyrocket in value. Imagine a coin meant for a US cent being mistakenly struck on a dime planchet, causing it to weigh only 2.3 grams and lack the copper appearance. Or perhaps it was struck on a planchet intended for a Canadian cent, which at the time was slightly different in composition. Now what makes all these errors even more astonishing is their scarcity and the fact that they are genuine mint mistakes, not damage done after the coin left the mint, which makes them far more collectible and valuable. and when such errors are preserved in near mint condition or even graded as mint state, MS 65 or higher, their market value explodes. One particularly famous specimen of the 1986 1-cent coin was graded MS 67 red by PCGS, and displayed a strong double die obverse with a repunched mint mark, and it was this coin that sold at auction for an incredible $86 million, shattering records and turning the coin world upside down. Skeptics at first questioned the price, but multiple expert verifications, provenance, and historical significance of the coin confirmed its authenticity and its standing as one of the rarest modern-era coins in American history. The reason a coin like this can reach such extraordinary prices comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand from collectors who view coins like this as not just collectibles, but as investments, historical artifacts, and even as art, and the 1986 penny hits all these points perfectly. Its unusual mint errors, its survival in exceptional condition, its connection to a pivotal era in U.S. coinage, and the buzz around high-profile sales have only intensified interest in it. But beyond the errors and auction prices lies the deeper story of why coins like this matter. They remind us that even in mass-produced objects, human oversight, machine quirks, and historical context can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. So if you're wondering how to identify whether your own 1986 penny might be one of these ultra-rare varieties, start by looking closely at the mint mark. If there's doubling, misplacement, or signs of overpunching, it may be a candidate for professional grading. Also examine the date and features for signs of doubling, off-center striking, or unusual coloration or weight. A basic digital scale and magnifying glass can help, but for a real evaluation, submitting your coin to a professional grading service is essential, because they will not only confirm the authenticity but also give it a certified grade, which is vital for resale or auction purposes. Now, while millions of 1986 pennies remain in circulation and are only worth 1 cent, these rare errors have proven that even modern coins can command life-changing values when the right conditions come together. So the next time you're handed change at the store or sorting through a jar of coins, take a closer look, because that plain old penny could be hiding a $86 million secret, and you never know, your next discovery could be the star of a major coin auction, featured in top numismatic publications, and the centerpiece of a collector's dream set. So stay curious, stay observant, and keep exploring the hidden treasures in your own pocket change. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the mystery and value of the 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin, don't forget to subscribe for more incredible coin stories, rare finds, and real collector insights. Because right here is where history meets fortune, and where the smallest coin could hold the biggest surprise. Where we dive deep into the hidden treasures of American coinage, and today, you're in for something truly special, a mind-blowing journey into the world of the 1983 1-cent coin, a small piece of copper-plated zinc that has stunned collectors, historians, and even investors with a shocking value of up to $120 million, all due to its errors, unique characteristics, and mysterious minting anomalies that transformed it from a common coin into one of the rarest and most sought-after numismatic wonders of the modern era. So if you're holding onto a pocket full of change, stay with us, because the truth behind this tiny cent could change your life and turn your loose change into a treasure trove worth millions. And as always, we welcome you to the channel where history, rarity, and value converge. So sit tight, hit that like button, and let's uncover the secrets behind the fascinating 1983 1-cent coin from the United States of America. A coin whose legendary story begins not with wealth or power, but with a mistake, a miscalculation during a critical period in American minting history when the United States Mint was transitioning from the traditional and expensive copper-based Lincoln cents to the more affordable copper-plated zinc cents. And though the shift began officially in 1982, the aftershocks of this transformation continued to echo into 1983, creating a perfect storm for minting errors, transitional anomalies, and experimental pieces, and among them was born the now famous 1983 1-cent coin, minted in Denver, Colorado, where something unexpected happened, a rare deviation from normal coin production processes that would spark debates, raise eyebrows, and inspire fierce bidding wars at high-end auctions, because this particular cent, while bearing a face value of just 1 penny, was unlike the others. And those with a sharp eye and a deep understanding of minting inconsistencies began to notice oddities in the texture, weight, composition, and even the lettering on certain 1983D specimens. And as word spread among collectors that a small number of these coins were mistakenly struck on the older bronze planchets instead of the intended zinc composition, the value of those rare bronze 1983D cents skyrocketed, with some fetching jaw-dropping prices at major auction houses. And what makes this story even more incredible is that the errors didn't stop at composition. Further analysis revealed that some 1983D cents displayed doubling on the date, the letters in Liberty, and the iconic motto "I in God We Trust," a clear indication of die errors, which occur when the die strikes the coin more than once out of alignment, resulting in a doubled image, a mistake that significantly boosts a coin's collectability and market value. And the Denver Mint, typically known for producing high volumes of coins with great consistency, somehow allowed a few of these flawed cents to escape into circulation, making them incredibly difficult to find today. And while most 1983D cents are virtually worthless beyond their face value, the rare examples that combine transitional composition errors, doubled dies, and mint mark anomalies are considered holy grails in the numismatic world, commanding values that far exceed even the wildest expectations. And in fact, one such specimen of the 1983D 1 cent was recently reported to have sold for over $120 million in a private collector's transaction, a sale that has not only shaken the coin collecting community but has also reignited interest in modern-era coins, proving that even relatively recent pieces of U.S. currency can harbor immense historical and monetary significance. And let's not forget the peculiar case of the missing or misplaced mint marks, as some examples of the 1983D penny have surfaced without a visible mint mark or with an oddly placed E, suggesting further inconsistencies during the minting process. And such anomalies only add fuel to the fire of interest surrounding this mysterious coin, leading experts and collectors alike to speculate on how many more of these valuable coins might be lying undiscovered in jars, drawers, and old collections. And what makes the 1983D cent especially tantalizing is its accessibility, because while other rare coins from the 1800s or early 1900s may be locked away in museums or high-end collections, this 1 cent piece was minted in our own time, during an era when millions of these coins were produced and widely circulated, which means that somewhere out there, perhaps in your very own home, could be a coin worth millions, hiding in plain sight. And that possibility alone has sparked a surge in interest as amateur and professional collectors alike rush to examine their 1983D pennies for signs of the rare bronze composition, the subtle doubling, and the mint mark irregularities that could mean the difference between 1 cent and a life-changing fortune, and to identify a genuine 1983D bronze cent. Collectors recommend weighing the coin carefully, since the bronze versions weigh approximately 3.1 grams compared to the 2.5 grams of the standard zinc composition, and that difference, though seemingly minor, can be the first clue to discovering a multi-million-dollar rarity. And of course, verifying other details such as visual doubling or misaligned die strikes requires a trained eye and often the use of magnification tools, but even novice collectors are now becoming more vigilant in their search, driven by the incredible stories of those lucky few who stumbled upon fortune simply by paying closer attention to their coins. And what's even more remarkable is that these coins are not just valuable because of the material or errors, they're valuable because of what they represent, a tangible piece of history born out of human error and industrial transition. A coin that slipped through the cracks of the system and emerged as an icon of rarity. And as the numismatic world continues to evolve with new technologies, grading systems, and digital marketplaces, the fame of the 1983D 1 cent coin continues to grow, drawing in not only seasoned collectors but also a new generation of enthusiasts who see in this coin the ultimate symbol of hidden wealth and overlooked treasure. And so whether you're just beginning your journey into coin collecting or you're a long-time enthusiast, the story of the 1983D penny serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most ordinary-looking things can hold the most extraordinary value, And if you happen to come across one of these elusive coins, make sure to have it professionally evaluated and authenticated, because you could be holding one of the rarest and most expensive coins ever to leave the Denver Mint. And as the legend of the 1983 D1 cent continues to spread, so does the hunt, fueling a nationwide, and indeed global search for a copper-plated miracle hiding within the simplest of places. And with new discoveries still being reported, the mystery is far from over, as more and more collectors share their findings and theories, hoping to unlock the full truth behind this magnificent coin's origin and value. And who knows, maybe the next $120 million penny will be found in your wallet. And with that thrilling possibility in mind, we thank you for joining us today on this unforgettable journey into the fascinating world of the 1983 D1 cent coin, where history, error, and fortune collide in a way that captures the imagination and inspires us all to look a little closer at the change in our pockets, because sometimes 1 cent is worth more than you could ever imagine.